There have been a lot of retro consoles come out in the last few years, and it makes a lot of sense because we've had a massive retro revival also over the last couple of years at the very least. And there's another console that's coming out, and it's a little bit more than a console, and I'd like to talk about that. So let's get started. So like I said, there have been many different classic mini and retro re-releases over the last couple of years, and we all understand why. More and more people are getting into retro gaming, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Now, some of these consoles have been really good, some of them have been okay, and some of them have been really bad. Now, my favorites are the C64 Mini and the C64 Maxi. This was a fantastic little console re-release. I love this thing. There have been continuous updates. They've done so much to make it easier for us to load our own games under the thing. It's just been a wonderful little machine, and it's made well, and I've got two of them, and they're both still working great. I use them all the time. But like I said, the C64 consoles have been fantastic. Retro Games Limited has done a wonderful job with them. And now they're about to bring us a new console, a mini console. It's going to be based on the Amiga 500. They're calling it the A500 Mini. According to their website, they say that now all other mini consoles are just toys. I'm guessing they're going to have a lot of surprises in store for us. All we know right now is that it's coming in 7 or 8 months. It's going to be here March of 2022. It's going to come to the UK and to other parts of the world. And unfortunately, we're not going to get it here right away in the US. And that's okay because I'm just going to pre-order it from a UK website. You can get it on Amazon or any other place in the UK that you know of that'll have it for pre-order. A lot of those places will probably ship here to the US. I'm going to go ahead and leave links in the description for you guys later so you can try to hunt one down and pre-order it for yourself if you want to. Now, what do we know that makes the Amiga Classic Mini special compared to the C64 Mini or the C64 Maxi or the NES or the SNES or any of them? While it doesn't have a working keyboard, of course it's going to let you plug in a USB keyboard, but it's also going to come with a mouse, a CD32 inspired controller, so you'll have both of those. So they're giving us all the ways that we need to play our games and hopefully run some cool programs. Clearly it's not a real Amiga, it's emulated. And I know a lot of us can do that on a Raspberry Pi or a smaller computer. And, you know, that's totally fine. But I'm excited about this. They put a lot of work into this. And, you know, I want to reward companies that put a lot of work into bringing these retro consoles into modern times for us. You know, they've kind of recreated the look of the 500. And it will apparently run A500 games, A600, and A1200 software. You can also put a USB drive in and sideload your games. They have even stated that if this thing does well, they will likely bring out a full size later on down the road. My guess is 2023. So if this does well, we're going to get a full size, and I would love that. Now, I grew up with the Tandy 1000EX, and I grew up with a Mattel Aquarius and things like that, so I never really got to enjoy the Amiga. But I do love Commodore. I love Commodore 64s. I've never gotten to use an Amiga, but I really want to. And yeah, I'll probably fire up a Raspberry Pi and emulate Amiga stuff while I wait for this to arrive in 2022, just so I can kind of learn everything I can learn and be ready to use it when it comes out. But I also want this thing that they're putting out because this is licensed, it's legit, and while it's just emulated, you know, and it's not true to the original hardware, it's probably the next best thing. And that's what makes me excited about it. And just think about getting a full size with like a working keyboard, and you're able to load up Workbench, and you're able to use this thing full size like a modern Amiga. That would be really awesome. As someone who did not get to experience the Amiga when it came out, or, you know, anytime I've never used one, I'm really excited to finally be able to get my hands on something similar. I would just go ahead and get an Amiga myself, but to get one here, you know, that's in really good condition, or to get one that is even usable or I can restore, I've seen them upwards to $400 and $500 US, and I'm just not going to pay that. I can't. It's just not something I can do right now. So This is the next best thing for me. The Raspberry Pi is also an option, but with a retail product coming out that they've put so much work into, that's going to be where I head, and to get my hands on something akin to the Amiga before someday I take the plunge and get one for myself, if I could ever find one. And I totally get why they're expensive. People love their Amigas. People don't get rid of their Amigas, so when they do, they're going to charge money for it, and that's perfectly cool. But my question for you guys is, are you going to get this? Are you going to wait for the full size to come out? Are you already just happy enough with the Amiga that you have? Or are you just happy emulating it on your Raspberry Pi? My plea to folks who might want to wait for the full size to come out is, if you can swing it, I would consider, or I would at least recommend, getting the Mini and getting the full size, because they're testing the Mini out to see if it does well before they do the full size. Retro Games Limited has stated on their Facebook page that they do the Mini consoles because they're more accessible to a larger audience, and when they take the money that they get from those, they put it right back into making a more niche product like a full size. So they really need to sell these minis to be able to create the full size. And they're not putting it on a Kickstarter or another crowdfunding site. They're taking a risk themselves. And I really appreciate that. And, they don't sponsor me. They don't pay me anything. I'm just a fan. And that's why I'd like to go ahead and get both of them. And I'll probably next week go ahead and put my pre-order in so that I can have it when it comes out, hopefully, or within a few days. I'll be looking forward to that. I hope you guys will be looking forward to it. Let me know what you think. So far, they have announced 12 of the 24 games that'll be on it. And I actually, as someone who doesn't or hasn't ever used an Amiga, I recognize quite a few of those games from other formats. Battle Chess, Another World, Pinball Dreams, and plenty more of them. So check that out. Check out their website. Check out their Facebook page for all the info, and I'll be looking forward to launch, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what the rest of the games are, and to get as much information as possible. And anything that I learn, I will be sure to come back and tell you guys. So thank you so much for watching Retro Tech Toys. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.